story coming in this evening. Has there been an assassination attempt on Russian President Vladimir Putin? That is what a weekly is claiming in Spain. They are citing reports that have come out in a Telegram channel to say that there has been an assassination bid on the Russian president. Now, the weekly in question is called the Euro Weekly News, which is a newspaper based in Spain. That is the paper that has made this sensational claim in a report that has been published today. Now, what this report is saying is that the date of assassination, on the bid of assassination on the Russian president, is not clear, but some details have emerged. Quoting a Telegram channel called General GVR, they are claiming that the left front wheel of Mr. Putin's limousine was hit by a loud bang when he was traveling back to his official residence. Again, the date they are saying, they're not clear. The car, they say, was quickly driven to safety even as smoke emerged out of it. Mr. Putin, the report says, was unharmed, but the report says arrests have been made. Now, there is no way for Mirror now to confirm whether there is any truth in the reports, but Mr. Putin publicly has claimed in 2017 that he has survived 5 assassination bids. Just to add that he has landed very safely in Uzbekistan for the SCO summit. Let me go straight across to Maroof Raza to ask him whether this smells of propaganda or whether there could be an element of truth to it. Maroof, no way of knowing right now, I assume.
Yes, I think there will be some kind of a confirmation or rejection of the news that should come out in the next 24 hours. What is important to understand is ever since Mr. Putin launched his operations in Ukraine, and after the first few weeks when it didn't go as planned, there has been speculation that Mr. Putin could face an internal coup or an assassination attempt because Russia was not exactly in the position to carry out a conflict without major financial losses. But 2 other reports which correspond at the same time to contradict the larger view that Russia is suffering from the conflict in
I think,
Ukraine.
I think there's a problem with your audio. We'll try and fix your audio, Maroof, because you're breaking up. Achal Malhotra is a former Indian ambassador joining us on the broadcast. Thank you very much for your time. Achalji, any way of knowing whether this is propaganda? Because the Russians are masters at propaganda, we know that, or whether there could be an element of truth to the news that is coming out. There is no word that is coming out from Moscow right now. What we do understand is that President Putin has reached Uzbekistan, but he has publicly claimed, President Putin has publicly claimed that there have been assassination bids on him at least 5 times, if not more, in the past.
Well, actually, based on whatever is trickling, first of all, I don't know the credibility of that Euro News or whatever it is. And then in turn, they are also citing, some
Telegram channel.
Which also I don't think has a great reputation. Now, everything is possible. One, of course, Putin, if you go by the official declarations, his popularity is on the rise, contrary to what the West would like to project. So this could be a propaganda both on the part of the West also, trying to project, trying to say that there is an opposition to Putin. Putin has a lot of detractors. And there have been reports coming in also, part of the psychological war that Putin is facing a lot of opposition at home. There might be a coup. So this could be that. But this is being leaked on the eve of a very important meeting, SCO meeting, where he's also going to have a bilateral meeting with Xi also. So that timing is also very important. Although they say they don't know when it happened, how it happened. But the timing is also important. So nothing can be ruled out. It could be a propaganda. It could be a real attempt also, because all said and done, he has detractors. It's a different matter that he's an autocrat. He has been able to suppress opposition at home. And he has tried to project to the rest of the world that conflict in Ukraine or no conflict, his popularity at home is increasing. But that could also be a manipulated kind of the popularity figures. So nothing at this point of time can be can be ruled out. But yes, we have to see and wait if there is an official the response or any official reaction from Moscow on this news. And and Putin is an old KGB man, you know.
Correct.
If there were assassination on his, he may have God knows how many skeletons in his cupboard. And if there were assassination attempts on him, that is very credible.
If
I mean, that's quite
If
possible.
anything,
And
if there is any truth to these reports that are coming out, it would hugely up his street cred, as it were. Maroof, hopefully your audio is fine now. Thank you very much for being with us. Again, we don't know whether this is propaganda, whether this is propaganda from the Russian side or the Western side, but it's coming at a slightly difficult time for President Putin. There have been reverses in Ukraine. There have been a group of politicians in St. Petersburg that are appealing to the State Duma to bring charges of state treason against Mr. Putin and strip him of power. So this is, I mean, the news is being leaked out at a time that has not exactly been easy for him.
Well, between you and Mr. Malhotra, you've covered most of the key issues, which I was wanting to bring out. But, we need to understand that the war that started in Ukraine was meant to achieve a certain purpose. It has achieved half those purposes by giving Russia a bit of a buffer against Ukraine and the possible NATO physical expansion. But in today's world, physical expansion per se does not delude the possibility of another attack from air or missiles or whatever. But what is something we don't hear about is that the Russian industry and factory output has been phenomenal in the last few months. And I'm not saying it. Experts in the West have commented to say it's gone well beyond what was anticipated in the West. So, yes, his industrial output is on a war footing, and the Russians are making close to about $180 billion with oil sales and gas sales. And Russia has now unleashed its string of oil and gas pressures on the Western world, particularly Europe. So Russia is not exactly crumbling the way America had thought it would crumble. A central rule for sanctions and imposing sanctions is everyone has to accept the sanction idea and everyone has to impose it. But Germany hasn't. A number of countries around Ukraine haven't. And the fact of the matter is, Russia is selling oil and gas like hell to China.
Correct.
So quite clearly, the world is divided. Mr. Putin is still riding high. He is a tough customer. As Mr. Malhotra brought out, he's an ex-KGB man, has faced many dangerous situations, including the fall of the Berlin Wall in Dresden. So I'm not going to write him off very easily, assassination attempt or no. Such things happen. Please remember, even Hitler faced assassination attempts,
True.
and so did other autocrats in history. But they have enough buffers built in, particularly that he admitted that 5 attempts were made on him in 2017. And I don't believe between 2017 and 2022, the last 5 years, no other attempts have been made on him. So he's got systems in place, and he's there in Uzbekistan, smiling and shaking hands. So he's not done yet.
Certainly not. Achal Malhotra, before I let you go, a quick question to you, and I'm just going to read out an updated, post on the channel that is reporting the news. So this is the sequence of events which I found a little hard to believe. I just want you to weigh in. They say, I'm quoting them, on the way to the residence a few kilometers away, the first escort car was blocked by an ambulance. The second escort car drove around without stopping due to the sudden obstacle. And during the detour of the obstacle posed that there have been some arrests in Russia. Now, we're talking about President Putin, who's perhaps the most secure / well-guarded man on this planet. I mean, there's Joe Biden, and then next, I think it's President Putin. Given the sequence of events, given the fact that the guy travels in a cavalcade, he was going to his official residence in this cavalcade, do you think it's even plausible? We are saying it could be propaganda, it could be real. The Russians, and the Kremlin takes its own sweet time to confirm or deny a news. So probably we'll have to wait for another 24 hours. But given the sequence of events, is it even looking likely?
No, the way it has been described, and looking at the tight security system which is in place in the in Russian Federation, and considering we are talking about a person no other than President Putin. So this looks like a very, very, improbable kind of a sequence of events that his carcade could be blocked by an ambulance, other was blocked by yet another vehicle, and then somebody hit and the car, there was a smoke in the car. I mean, sounds very difficult, but pass a judgment sitting hundreds, thousands of kilometers away without knowing the credibility of the report, what exactly may have happened. It's difficult. So we will go back to our earlier conversation that we can't rule out anything. But this, yes, if this is true, that means the security, it's a huge security lapse, which again looks very improbable. It doesn't appeal to the reason or to the logic that Putin's security could be compromised in a manner which, in the way it is being described.
Okay, Achal Malhotra, we'll leave it there. I'm glad we had this discussion because this is a story that is right now viral on social media. Maroof Raza, thank you very much for your time as well. Both gentlemen don't really think that the news is correct. This could be propaganda, and if it actually has happened, well, there's no word coming in from the Kremlin. So we'll just wait to hear from them before we believe what is being said. Thank you, Maroof. Thank you, Mr. Malhotra, for joining us. We are shifting our focus back